Ladies and gentlemen, we are here at Mayfair Clubs. This is Dan Wolfenden, Executive Director of Squash Canada. Dan, we are thrilled to have you here again for the 2019 Canadian Squash Championships. You're at the helm. How's it going so far?
This is a great event. We have about 270 players here who just love coming here because Mayfair Lakeshore just is an absolutely terrific hosting venue with all of these courts, the great staff, the great facility. People just love this setting. It's a very exciting atmosphere for our players.
Oh, it is delightful. And is this 270 players?
That's right. So we have here Canada's best. So we have what we call an open division.
Right.
So we have all of the top Canadian men and women who are vying for not only Canadian championships, some prize money, but also what's on the line here are spots on the Canadian team to the 2019 Pan Am Games that will be in Lima, Peru.
Oh, wow.
And then they're joined by all of our age categories because squash is a sport for life.
For sure.
So we have our age categories here from 35 plus to 75 plus.
Wonderful.
And I can assure you our 75 plus is our most competitive category.
Oh, I'm not surprised. Well, they've been doing it a long time. We know that.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously they're passionate about squash. They've stayed healthy and fit.
So Dan, I also understand that here at Mayfair, we're delighted to have an outreach program for the squash community, for members and non-members. Can you speak a little bit to that?
Well, I think Mayfair is a very progressive club, that it's about bringing people in, it's about instilling healthy lifestyles.
Sure.
And when you have venues like this and the qualified staff, you want to bring in people, and so Mayfair has found ways in which to attract people, to expose them to the sport in different ways.
Yes.
I love the school program. I see here at 2:45 in come a busload of 25 little ones who jump on the squash court and are just playing and having lots of fun. And that's what you need to do because we're not a school sport. So in the phys ed class, the teachers aren't exposing them to squash.
Right.
So it takes getting them into a squash venue, and we think our sport is so fantastic. Once they get here, they're going to remember that experience, and maybe that will be one of their discretionary choices for activities for life.
Oh, absolutely. And what I think is an added bonus is some of Canada's top players come and hang out during these clinics. Sam Cornett mentioned that she's dropped by, and it was jammed full of lots of lovely little girls all learning to play with Sam on the court.
Well, squash is what I would call an altruistic sport that while we might wish otherwise, we don't have millionaires in our sport who perhaps become too big for our sport. And our top players just love giving back. They're our best ambassadors, and they really accept the responsibility to come back to help instill what got instilled in them in a young age, because they believe so much in what squash can do for personal and community development.
That is a fact, and it's a delightful community, so tight-knit and family-oriented as well.
Absolutely. We kind of see two ways in which a lot of people come into the sport. One, obviously, is through family. If the children get dragged along because older brother or mom or dad are at the club, they get exposed to it.
Excuse me.
And another one is at university, that a lot of our players who get involved in squash have their first experience at university, because a lot of universities have terrific facilities.
Sure.
And of course you got a lot of young people to play with. So we see a lot of our lifelong participants emerging from that first touch of a squash ball at university.
Oh, that's wonderful. Dan, I want to thank you so much, and continued success with the tournament.
Absolutely.
Anything you'd like to say? Anything you want to finish off? Anybody you want to say hello to?
Well, we'd like to really thank the Mayfair membership for sharing your facilities with us. We know we're guests here, and we very much appreciate the welcome that we have here, and we love what you have on a day-to-day basis. So thank you.
Well, as a Mayfair member, which I am, we are delighted to have you here.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Thanks, Matt.
Bye-bye.